Morning everyone. Let's try playing some StarCraft. It's been a long week of counting, bookkeeping and closing the books, and I haven't had a chance to play much, but see how it goes. I might even try and finish the F to S thing that I was doing. I'll try and do a really standard build this game. Okay, so this is PVT Vermeer. First thing to think about is the SimCity. So we'll do like a pylon here, gateway, core, second pylon, robo, that kind of thing. We don't know exactly what it's going to look like, but something like that. The general opener, I'm going to go for like a 20 Nexus, I expect. I do like the range before Nexus builds that a lot of people do, however I don't know if I have the Dragoon Micro to really get the value out of them. I watched a best game on Nyokun's StarCast channel, and he did a very, very aggressive opening against a Gastos expand, where what he did was everyone Gastos expand obviously, and what Best did was originally it was going to be a range Nexus, but he cut probes like crazy and just built a shitload of Dragoons on 2 pylons. And you can't really build that many Dragoons on 2 pylons because you don't have the supply for it. So normally you only build like 2 Dragoons because otherwise you have to start cutting probes, or you have to build a 3rd pylon. But he just cut all the probes and just left his Dragoons attacking the bunker for ages. He had like 4 Dragoons attacking it, like 17 probes total. It was quite interesting because like I didn't think it would actually get any real value, because I mean he was so far behind on the workers. But having 4 Dragoons early on just attack your bunker, apparently not completely ineffective. Interesting, 217. That is pretty normal first scout timing. I don't think that means that it's got to be a end of axe. Though the fact that he was attacking my pylon doesn't fill me with confidence. The fact he's attacking my pylon, I'll give a little bit of respect to that actually. I wouldn't normally scout at this timing, but a little bit alarmed. There was nothing out here that I could find. Not the build I was originally planning on doing. It's unfortunate if I'm going to try and put this online as a guide. The Nexus before Goon was a little bit spicy. But I'm squeezing out a few extra probes doing this. So I'm only going to go 1 Dragoon before Robo. And although you have to have a Dragoon on the ramp at all times, I'm going to use my first Dragoon to be the Dragoon on the ramp. Okay. That was worth sacking the probe for that scout, by the way. That was important. So I confirmed there was a CC up at, what, 380? At 380, that's not a time, there aren't 80. That doesn't exist. Wow. This is really, really bad by me. I never should have let that in. Oh, that was a brand new Dragoon. Okay then. What was I trying to say when I had a brain meltdown and said 380? I was trying to say 340. Like 348-ish, that kind of timing. My pro production's pretty good. Not as good as I might wish, but not awful. One Dragoon over here just in case. So that's actually not the base I'm going to expand to if I expand, is it? I'm going to expand to this one here. I need to expand away. Haven't missed a probe yet. Okay, CC's flashing. eBay starting. He's gone for a quick academy. Wow, 2 misses in a row. Oh, he's adding a bunch of factories. Interesting. A starport. That is interesting. I never got the yep. So yeah, 5-pack is a bit too aggro, so I quite like my response to this. I think that being as defensive as I am here is definitely the play. We need more gates, because he thinks it's go time. How is my Zealot legs doing? Almost done. Almost done, ain't done. Nice. Okay, so that went about as well as it could have, and it went as well as it could have because I was extremely disciplined with my build. I did not take the expansion when I couldn't hold it. And that's how you have to play it, unfortunately. You have to be disciplined with your build. Okay, that went so well, I'm actually going to add some cannons. And I'm going to add another Stargate. I'm going to add one of those. Because my pro-production's been so good all game, I'm actually completely fine with those losses. It's annoying, but it doesn't actually hurt me at all. $79 energy. Come on, there we go. Shit, come back. So the secret this game was just how very disciplined we were with the build. That was actually a really good game by me. 128 APM, but the build was fucking perfect. Let's review this. Because I want this to be one that we need to use for studying. Okay, so Terran opts for a gasless expand. Right. With a normal STV scout timing. SV comes in at 13, and I call that out as a close position first scout. Goes down to CC. I just want to quickly validate that it's not a proxy axis, because 214 is a little early. But I send my probe out, and there'd be Marines rallying, so I have a Dragoon building, and I can cancel it if needed. And I do actually cancel it because then I think, well, what am I going to use a Dragoon for? Send out the scout probe. Close position, because I know he's close position. And I just build a shitload of probes here. So instead of going for 21 probes on my 25 is how many supply you have on 2 pylons. So instead of going for 21 probes with 2 Dragoons, I actually use 1 Dragoon, block the ramp with it, don't scout with the Dragoon at all, which means that I don't need a second Dragoon, because normally you scout with 1 Dragoon, the second Dragoon has to be on the ramp at 4:05, because that's when the Vulture gets there if he does the factory expand. So you always have to build 2 Dragoons. But in this case, because I'm not scouting with the Dragoon, I can use my first Dragoon as my ramp Dragoon and get a Robo instead. Now this is a little bit vulnerable to 2-fac, which is why it's so important that I confirm the CC here. But I do confirm the CC. So at this point I know that it's not a 2-fac. He's got a few more workers than me, but I'm actually basically okay with this. This is a bit sloppy. I never should have let that in. But, and then my misses are fucking ridiculous. Also, because I skipped my second Dragoon, I was able to put down my pylon faster, better pro production, and an earlier robo. It wasn't a hugely early robo. I did go range before robo, but it was a good robo timing. Observatory done the moment the robo finishes. So far, so good. Pro production is matching his SCVs. That's really good, given that he went for a gasless. And then I go for an early second gas and early citadel, because what I can't do at this point is take a quick third. It's very common for Protoss players to, if they scout a gasless, just to go quick B-base over like one Dragoon. But the issue with that is if you follow that with a robo, and they just go for a bunch of factories and marines and push you just die. So I know that I have to not take my third. If I have to not take my third, what can I do? I'm waiting till I have observer before I make a decision, but I can at least go tech, because tech isn't expensive. It just takes a while. If you're going towards the 2-base arbiter build, you can start it early. You can move it quickly into the arbiter and be completely fine. What you can't do is build a bunch of units and also a Nexus. So I can have units or Nexus, but I can have Nexus and Arbiter or units and Arbiter. Arbiters are cheap. It's the actual tech at this point that I'm committing. It's just a second gas, so 100 minerals and 150, 100 for the Citadel. I can start that as early as I want. And then I can decide what I'm going to do once the Observer gets in. I only build one Observer early because I need the gas for the Arbiter Tribunal, but we're good. We also get a quick forge, because again I can start that early. And I signal a little bit with my positioning that I want to take a third. But I don't actually take the third here. I just signal, because you can't take the third blind. You can't just throw it down. You have to know what they're doing. And what he's doing is he's got 2 factories, 2 machine shops, a late armory, and he's got another factory building and an SCV showing me he's going to have a 3rd factory or 4th factory. So like, this is fucking terrifying as Protoss. I'm on 1 gateway. I have 3 Dragoons and a Zealot, and he's going 4 fac. So if I'd gone Nexus here, I would be so fucked. But I don't have to go Nexus here. That's the beauty of it. My Arbiter Tribune is actually kind of late. I get distracted by this SCV, I think. Oh no, my Arbiter Tribune is on time. It's the Arbiter itself that was late. But yeah, he's going 4 fac, and at this point I'm actually quite happy, because the conventional wisdom is that Protoss has to be up on bases. That's not true. If the Terran is going upgrade style, Protoss has to be up on bases because the Terran is just super efficient. If the Terran is going for a 2-base push style, you are completely fine to hold that on 2 bases as Protoss. The army sizes are small enough that you don't get into the point where like a single Terran volley just wipes out all your Dragoons. If it's a low eco game, which 2-base Terran is, then you can match them on bases. You don't need the 3rd Nexus. And the 3rd Nexus will get you killed. I confirm it's 5 fac and a single +1. And so I'm tailoring my timings around his timings. He's telling me what he wants to do, and I'm making sure that I'm ready to match. I lose a Dragoon for free, that's not ideal. And this Terran's desperately looking for my 3rd base, but of course I don't have one. He's looking all these different places it could be. He's looked over here, he's placed mines there, he's looked at the natural. Now he's going to come up here and look at this one, and he just can't find it. And he can't find it because there isn't one. But I am up 9 workers, and I've gone from being on 1 gateway against 4 factories, which is like suicidally bad, to having 4 gateways and Zealot legs and an Arbiter building, which is slightly less suicidal. And I'm not going to stop on 4 gateways. These gateways are actually a little bit late. My money's getting high here, unfortunately. So he finally pulls the trigger on his 5 fac +1 timing. I see him move out. That's great. And my Arbiter's about to finish. So the fact that I started the Citadel early and got my 2nd gas early is beautiful here. I've walled this off so I can take a Nexus, but I haven't taken the Nexus, and I will not take the Nexus until after the fight. Because I need to win the fight first. I need to make sure that I'm going to win the fight before I invest in the Nexus. My Zealot leg's just finished. Very nicely timed. And here comes the Arbiter. The Arbiter just popped. And he's so fucked at this point. The Zealots are on the tanks. And that's the game. And I promptly throw down the Nexus because, I mean, I've won the fight. We're happy. Job done. The zoom it up. I just his Vulture can't do anything because I've taken that. I make sure that I'm gonna just lock the game down. So I add some cannons over here. I add cannons over here. I make sure my third base is mining. I confirm that he doesn't have a third base with the Observer. I position my observers for clearing mines. Add a second Stargate because now I'm going up to 3 gases. And if I have 3 gases and all my tech is already paid for, I can easily support 2 Stargate Arbiter. I confirm the CC. He's still only on +1. He's getting his +2. He's getting his plus armor, but he doesn't actually have a sound facility. And the moment I choose to end it, there's absolutely nothing he can do. I just walk across the map and I have stasis. Absolutely beautiful game by me there. 128 APM, but like the actual theory behind it was spot on. Happy with that. I was making the reads I needed to make. I was looking at the scouting information. I was controlling the Observer. Like, make it look easy. But the Terran's build was like kind of suicidal. His build was just hoping that there wouldn't be a Observer in his base, and if there was an Observer in his base, that I wouldn't do a counter build. Because if ever I didn't take a third and just got Zealot legs, Arbiter, and a bunch of gateways, his push was never ever going to work. So you look at that Terran build and think, that's kind of like a dice rolly build. He's just hoping that I don't do the counter build. If I do the counter build, he's going to be very sad. He was like 22 something or other. He was like very, very high A. You can be very, very high A with Terran with just like a gimmick build. You don't actually need to be like good at the game. Another probe. Guy's B rank. I'll give him a little bit of respect. Well, I guess anti-respect is what I'm giving him here. I'm not saying that he's B rank, so I'm going to treat him as he's good. I'm saying he's B rank, so I'm going to make sure that I scout him early. The opposite of giving respect. Okay, overpull. Shoot. This is way too early for him to place that. I don't know why I'm blocking. There's nothing to block. You can't build it for a few more seconds. Yeah. I know the timing, Sven. Okay, he can finally have it. Oh, you need to be over here. It is not worth having that, bring that mineral back just to miss your cannon timing. Okay, so we'll see if these are all lings. If they're all lings, we need to build a second cannon. What up, why you suck so bad? Okay. They are all lings, but they are hanging out in his base. That is curious to me. Like, he shouldn't build 6 lings and then not cross the map with them, because I had to build a second cannon here, but I'm just not building it, because I don't feel like I have to. I'm going to send a second probe to his mineral line. I didn't hotkey my nexus. Yep. Like, his lings should be actually forcing me to make a second cannon or some zealots or something, and I'm just not doing it. That's obviously not ideal for him. We scouted no lair. Interesting. No ling speed. Okay, there's the Hydra. That's what we were looking for. We just wanted to make sure we had a probe at his natural long enough that we could see the Hydra. We'll add another forge just in case. But do I have a bad valley? I think I have a bad valley. One of these. My units do seem to be just wandering across the map blindly. Yeah, it's because he built all those extra lings that he didn't need. That really ruined his early timings. So I didn't actually have to build very many cannons here as well, which is nice. Oh, my forge lived. Shit. I now have double forge. It's very nice. Okay, I'm going to use 6 zealots just for sitting out, running out and poking around, but most of the zealots are going to stay home. Because I don't actually have that many gateways. I have a few gateways for, you know, casual dining and hanging out, but I don't have like mass gateways. I'm going to pick off that overlord that was over there. Okay, we're good. Going Evo, but I have 2 Evos. I have 2 Forges. What's my MMR? Right now, this account is down in the gutter at like 2250, but I've been 2550. I would say that right now my level is about 2300. That helps. Okay, his lair's done. But there's nothing he can really do with that lair. Let's go kill the Overlord. Make sure we have our pylon. Let's get our... We started our Robo, right? Yeah, that was the Robo. Okay. So let's start our Dragoon range. Pick off the... whatever that is. There's our +1. Yeah, we're pretty happy with this game state. Robo's done. Let's value the Robo. Add an observatory. I actually have 0 high tempo of my army right now, which is not quite the right ratio. I put a cannon there just in case of like a lurker drop. I don't think he's going to lurker drop, but I also don't want to lose to it. And with my observatory coming, my double upgrades coming, I really feel like quite confident in this game right now. There's my armor. I have my... oh, that's not where that building goes. Okay, I just misclicked my... just misclicked my Nexus. Oh well, it is what it is. Dragoon range is done. Okay, so he has his lurkers. They're done. But my observers are done too. As is my Dragoon range. You know what? Let's just fucking attack the building. Fine. Everybody in. Let's go. You guys go in here. You guys go over here. You just killed the lair, that's fine. You come over here. You go over there. It's going to be like my +2 attack. Is that my +3? Did I not get the lair? Oh shit. I earned that lair. I deserved it. In we all go. Build one of those. Come up here, take another Nexus. Upgrade complete. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I don't know why, but saying do 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 just makes it easier to rally your units. Just one of those things. Yeah, I play Artosis whenever I can't avoid it. But I try and avoid him when possible. So yeah, his mistake that game, well, he made a few mistakes. His first mistake was building 6 lings and not sending them, because I built one cannon, but I didn't build the second cannon. Instead, I went for an accelerated gas, accelerated second pylon, extra probes. And then he still didn't send them, so instead of building a Zealot to plug the gap, I just left the gap open at my natural because he wasn't threatening. I avoid Artosis because I don't like the drama. There's a lot of bullshit drama. So Andrew, I think I'm actually playing okay today. I think we're going to have some fun. I know that every stream I'm like, this is the worst I've ever played. I don't think this is going to be one of those. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, if you watch him play, like his play is just not strong. No, he doesn't have game knowledge. Actually, that's one of the weird things about it. Is that he'll say like, I had 0 timings on this Protoss, and you look at it as a Protoss player and like, you had only timings on this Protoss. He had nothing at this point, but you're not scouting for the right things, and when you see the right things, you're not recognizing them. It's because he's only ever played Terran, so he has no clue how other races think. You compare him with somebody like, let's take Gypsy. So Gypsy is like S rank with all races. So he can recognize what he's seeing. He'll have a timing on the, or he'll send out a worker to look for a specific thing because he knows that this is the timing at which that choice will be made. And then if he gets the information, he'll act on it. He'll flick the switch and say, okay, if this, then that. But you never see that with him. He has his plan, and then they just do the counter build, and he says, well, it's unwinnable. It's like, well, it's unwinnable if you keep going rock against paper, but nobody forced you to do that. Nobody's forcing you to go rock against paper. You open the game, open up the chat, say, I'm going rock. And then when they go paper, you complain about it. It's like, well, don't. Just don't. But I think part of the like appeal of his stream is the absolute futility of it for him. Is that he doesn't understand. So you watch him just making the same mistake over and over again. And he just doesn't get it, and that's the appeal, is just that sense of both the investment on will he understand it this time, and he never does, and also just watching him not get it. It's a great stream. I would recommend it. And he's toxic as fuck. It's the fact that he will literally message his opponents after the game if he wins and complain to them about how he won. Who does that? Who blocks a cheese, opponent GG's out, and then he messages them and be like, haha, you suck. It's that degree of pettiness is absolutely amazing to me. Oh, 4 times in a row. Holy shit. This is how you get S rank, boys. That was done. This is definitely going my F to S stream. Is the trick to getting S rank is just playing Koreans and have them all leave. That's the strategy. Because it was turn rate 16 and he only wants to play turn rate 24. Pointy TV, thank you for the follow. Yeah, some Koreans, they're so used to playing turn rate 24 because of course most players on ladder are Korean. So the majority of your games as a Korean will be against other Koreans turn rate 24. And then when you face turn rate 16, you're just like, nah, this is too much. Whereas foreigners, because we're used to always playing Koreans, we think turn rate 16 is fine. This is not the same guy, he's slightly different barcode. Split was decent. I would prefer to mine this one than that one, but whatever's good enough. Also, what we did with these probes is we have to mine these crystals from the corners in order to get a faster recovery from the nexus. It's if you hit the corner, your probe returns to the middles quickly. If you hit the side of the nexus, your probe stops for a while, thinks about it, then goes back. Which is why when this one here was mining, I sent it up to like here and then back to the mineral line, just to make sure I got that angle. I'm not in the UK. I'm from the UK, but I live in America. I've been in America for almost a decade now. I came out here in 2014 on Valentine's Day, oddly enough. That was my wife in the background saying I came out here for a girl. Yes, I was imported by my wife. And I am an American these days. I have citizenship. Don't have any guns, but you know I have the right to guns. If anything, I have the obligation to guns. Okay, so it's a 9 pull speed. So 9 pull speed, we're just going to go forge and... oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I like that he's showing me the drone as if he was going to go expand. It's like, buddy, I know the timing. You are not about to expand. Well, I did need that probe over here, actually. Like, not with a 9 full speed, you're not. Okay, so he's built 6 lings, 8 lings. 2 cannons is fine against 8 lings, but I will keep track of his ling count. You do want to just keep an eye on it. What I'm going to do this game is also like not really that strong, but I'm going to build a cannon. Yeah. Preemptively. Oh, he's left. So I knew he was going to do a run by, so I just built a pylon and kept building probes because I could see that he had no drones. I take as many vacation days as I want, kind of, because I'm the boss, so there's good and bad about that. I'm not hourly. I can go in when I want, leave when I want, but also I am responsible for the work getting done, which is sometimes good, sometimes bad. Like I worked late a few nights this week because I was closing the books, but at the same time I left early after doing the preliminary reporting today. But yeah, I have no vacation days. And health insurance costs an absolute fortune. And it doesn't cover anything. if you look at how much your employer's paying towards your health insurance, as well as what you pay towards your health insurance, as well as what you pay in healthcare taxes, not only Medicare, Medicaid, but also just the what comes out of general taxation to fund healthcare. So VA, all of that stuff. I'm paying a good $30,000 a year for healthcare, and then if I actually get sick, I have to pay the first $5,000 of the expenses, and after that, I have to pay like 25% on the next 20,000. It is fucking crazy. I pay $30,000 a year for the right to pay the first $5,000 if I get sick. The good thing I don't get sick. Like $5,000 deductible is pretty normal. I did the math on it when I signed up for my benefits too, and it's actually more expensive to have the plan that has a lower deductible. I'd pay like another $5,000 a year just to have a lower deductible if I get sick. It is crazy, and a lot of it is stealth taxes because stuff where like employer paid benefits are part of your compensation. I will die on that hill. That if your employer pays like $20,000 towards your family's health insurance costs each year, you've earned $20,000. You just don't see it because you already spent it on health insurance. But your cost to your employer is your earned compensation. So if you think you make 100K, but you have all these benefits and all these like things like FICA, where it's like you pay 6.5% and the employer pays 6.5%. Like no, you paid all 13,000. They just only showed you 6.5% on your pay stub because otherwise you'd have a heart attack. But you were paying all 13%. You have to make your company at least that much money, or they're losing money on having you as an employee, and they're going to fire you. It's your compensation. You look at the taxes in the US, and they're actually so much higher than anybody thinks they are. Sure, you can. What do you do for a living, Sando? Yeah, libraries, as far as I know, aren't known for their paying. All I know is what people on Reddit bitch about, but like you have to have like a master's in library science in order to give somebody a book. You don't have that, you can't break into the industry. Okay, PVT. This is a North American. I think, what? Goku's the other one, I think. Ultra? Oh, I don't think Ultra's, oh. I think Ultra's chili. Kind of BM, I think, at this point. Not introducing herself. This is Polypoid, I believe, because Vermeer is green. My SimCity is not good for Polypoid. I 10 Jack suited. So Ando, would you do me a favour and check the open streams and see who it is who I'm playing if he's streaming? Yeah, we have a virtual keyboard. It's a Protoss keyboard. You can tell by how many buttons aren't on it. Which might be the oldest joke in the StarCraft community. Okay, 240. Come on. The 240 scout timing is why we're scouting cross map immediately. 240 is a cross map scout timing. Okay, beautiful. And his STV's all the way home. Okay, great. So we cancel our range, we go straight into Robo. And we make sure that we don't skip any probes. So we have a good work account here. That's why it's worth learning these scout timings, by the way. The fact that I can just go ahead and do that is pretty cool, right? I just first scout cross position, like a boss. Yeah, but he wouldn't understand how I did it. That's me. I mean, you can see how I do what I do. I'm just on stream. I talk about it as I go. Yeah, you just do the just read the scout timing. Yeah, we've got an extra 2 probes from the cut on the second Dragoon. Our Nexus was up quickly. I'm actually okay with this spot. I think this spot's completely fine. The fact that he didn't scout at all is kind of nice for me too. Only one gateway right now. I am building a second one, but I'm feeling pretty safe cross map. Not like 100% safe, but like cross map is safer than not cross map. Cut some dragoons to get out my Arbiter Tribunal. Because I don't. Okay, so he's doing a vulture move out. That's fine. 2 factories. Also fine. Starport. Flashing Starport. Okay, this is spicy. Hey. Super spicy. I'm liking this position a lot this game. Let's see what he's up to. He's starting his expansion. Where's the dropship though? I'm not really understanding why there's no dropship. The fact that I preemptively built a cannon and then there's no dropship is kind of annoying to me. I deserved him to run some units into that, if I'm honest. Play was solid. That's a very quick gas there too. That should have been slightly faster. I'm not convinced by my timing on the... What am I trying to say? My timing on the... carrier switch this game. I think this might be early, if I'm honest. Yeah, I lost a dragoon for free to mines. So complete, that was that one. that upgrade? Oh, that finds a lot of legs. Okay. I think that's my vehicle. I'm actually going to cast my vehicle though. And I can't build any more probes this game. I have enough probes. Do need gateways though. I say I'm not going to build any more probes, and the first thing I do is build more probes. Kind of sloppy. Did I lose my arbiter? I think I did. Shit. And my observer. Where's my observers? To get some storm as well. Where did my probe go? I sent a probe over here. Need more observers on this map. What happened to all my dragoons? Oh, you do not want to come over here, buddy. Oh, oh shit. You get out of that control group, buddy. That's not going well for you. I've got a bunch of other carriers. Okay. Upgrade complete, eh? Yeah, I queued up too many. There's my arbiters. Yeah. Right stuff at the right time, as somebody says in chat. Question is, will I lose a game tonight? Let's watch the replay on that one actually. I'm going to upload the stream to YouTube probably, so let's try and make it a little bit educational. See what actually happened. Okay, so we still don't know who it was. So he does a Vax expand cost map, but his scout timing tells us that it's cost map, and then because of his scout timing, I cancel the Dragoon and go straight into another Nexus. Then after the next, I build a probe, and then I build the Dragoon. So my probe count this game is going to be pretty good. We already know that. And then I go straight across the map and I scout the CC, as you do. And then also, this is kind of key. I see the SCV as I come back, so I know that he has no vision at all. At that point, I can cancel the range and go straight into Robo, because how's he going to punish it? He's not even going to know I did that. We can't make any adaptation to punish. A lot of people would go straight for Nexus here because it's cost map and it's against a CC first, and I don't hate it, but I play such a hard counter heavy style where I just see what they're doing and do the counter build, that I don't tend to go for macro builds, even if macro builds are more valid. I tend to just go straight into what I know, which is building observers. Robo finish, instant observatory. My probe count is, as I said, very good. It's because I just cut Dragoons early. You only have the 2 pylons early, but I used my 2 pylons to build probes and didn't have the Nexus stop at all. So we have some great economy here. We're down still 2 workers still, but we have enough workers that we can take a second gas ridiculously quickly. Which is why we're going for the world's fastest arbiter. Okay, so he goes for a 2-fac into drop. But my observer timing is so quick that I can actually see this. Sends out the SCV. He is going to scout that there's no Nexus here, which is not ideal, but I am going to deny the scout at my natural. And what he doesn't see is I only have 3 Dragoons. That's the scout he needed, but by sending just 2 Dragoons and denying vision, I deny him that scout. Observer stops for a second here, which is not good, but I eventually notice and send it in. And I see the Vulture move out, and critically I see the Starpot. And seeing the Starpot is huge. Although I think he sees that I see the Starpot. I think he saw the blur. I see the dropship. So what do you do against a 2-fac Vulture double machine chop? So that means mines and speed and a Starpot. Well, you don't need units. That's the first thing, is that you don't actually need any units, because he doesn't have any units. What you need is, firstly, to have a good SimCity. If he were to drop Vultures over here, in terms of what he could actually get, fuck all. You don't need the cannon, but I'm going to add it anyway just because my multitasking isn't great, so I feel like having a cannon makes the build a little bit more forgiving. Adding pylons here, I'm going to add 2 more pylons here because I need to make sure that the few Dragoons I have can cover everything. Because what I don't want to do right now is build more Dragoons than I need. I'm going up to 6 Dragoons, but 6 Dragoons is nothing. 6 Dragoons at 6.5 minutes with Arbiter Tech is a very low Dragoon count. But my priority at this point is taking this space. He's gone Starport, there are no tanks, there's no real pressure. I'm not worried, his upgrades are coming late. I need another Nexus. So I'm going to take this one. Another reason I want this Nexus is very easy to defend against Vultures. Pylon wall, Dragoon, job done. So I am tailoring this part of the game exactly around what I have seen. What I have seen is a build that has a hard counter. My observer's inside his base at 625, which cross map is a crazy good timing. And so I just shut it down. I shut down everything he's trying to do. I don't think he even loads up the dropship. But I've got 3 Dragoons here. You don't want them all the way up here because that gives it away too early. You want him to try and drop, and then you attack the dropship, and then he unloads 1 Vulture, and then the Vulture runs into a cannon. Then over here we have Observer, and it's going to be 2 Dragoons and Pylon Wall. And over here we're doing Pylon Wall and Dragoon. So we are very happy with this position. And our Arbiter's already started. He doesn't actually go for the drop. I mean, did he forget about it? I don't really understand that. He actually takes his third very quickly off this too, which is a good play in terms of he's scouted that I'm ready for the drop. But he's also scouted that I'm in like a defensive posture, so he's just taking a third, and he can get away with it. The bunker here is a good play. Like he's doing the things he needs to do to make that a safe play. But this third is a mineral only, 6 crystals. My third has 7 crystals and a gas. And I'm going to take a 4th as well. Plus, I'm already at Arbiter. He's working on his +2 attack. He hasn't started his armor yet. Is that +2? So that's his +1. He's halfway through his +1. My Arbiter's done. My Arbiter's already out and he's working on his +1. So I have just beaten him to the late game here. I've elevated my... Oh, not elevated. I have accelerated my build in a very reactive way. I have cut Dragoons so hard early to get... I'm getting my ground upgrades, I'm getting my second Arbiter, I'm getting my air upgrades for carriers. My third base is done, my probe count is on 63, I'm getting a 4th base. It is... the order in which I'm getting things is so abusive, but I can get away with it because I have the Observer. The Observer just makes this so safe. As I take my third base, straight onto the gas. We are going carriers this game. Carriers are very gas heavy, that's fine. Fleet Beacon, I should have started that a little bit earlier, it's fine. So if he wants to try and push at some point, I'm going to have 2 Arbiters, I'm going to have Recall, and if he doesn't push, that's okay. We're going carriers. The reason we're going carriers is because it's cross-map and it's an eco game. We know this game's going to like 25 minutes. There's nothing we can do about that. So I've already accepted that the only way I'm going to close this game out is with carriers. And so I'm just going straight into them. There's no reason to wait. My supply is actually really low because of how much tech I'm buying, how many upgrades I'm buying, how few gateways I have. But that's fine, because he's not going to attack, and if he does attack, I've already got stasis. So I'm just setting up for the late game right from the start. He's like trying to play a mid game. I'm skipping that entire part of this. I'm just going straight into the fastest possible late game. After I clear out some mines and like just exert a bit of map presence, I say, okay, I'm going to go try and take my 5th base. I send the Observer. I also send the Observer up here to make sure I know his 4th base timing. Add a second cybernetic skill pretty quickly. We get the dropship. I'm on 81 probes. That's too many probes. 84 probes. That's still too many probes. Holy shit. This is why I didn't have any units. Deny the 4th base. I could have actually recalled quite easily here. He doesn't have any mines. My recall's been done a while. I've got 182 energy. But I didn't need to, is the thing. It might have perhaps been a good play, but it wasn't a required play. If I recall him the moment I have 150 in recall, it's probably a better play, but again, I don't have huge armies, I don't have huge gateway counts, I'm not going into a massive ground win. I have 3 Stargates and I'm going carries with double cybernetics core. If I throw away these Dragoons that I spent all game building up, I've only got 3 gateways, I can't actually replace them. Oh, let's see who that guy was. He wouldn't tell me his name. Just no way of knowing. Nope. Just some S-rank town. Then I took both corners, I denied bases, and I just had too much money. Taking out 12 o'clock was pretty nice too, and also taking out the gas at his mineral only. So it is natural. Because that gave him 1.5 gases with which to build 1.5 gases to build Goliaths off of, and that's just not enough gas. He had the 9 o'clock gas and he had a mined out main. That split. That is not the split we're after, boys. I think we might lose this one. Might be finally a game that we can't win, given that this guy is, like, presumably a pro gamer. 199.85, so it's not like Snow's record, but I mean he's 24.50. My PVT is not very strong. We're going to go for the 12 Nexus cheese, I think. This is a 12 Nexus where you pretend that you're going for eco, but you're actually just going for 2-gate Zealot. It can sometimes catch some good players off guard. But I mean, I don't do this build so much anymore. I'm not super good with it, and people are more familiar with the timings these days than they were back when I invented the build. Back when I invented it, it was very good on ladder. I beat some extremely good players with it. Okay, we are going to go straight into a 12 next 12 gate. Very quick gateway timing. Gateway right at the ramp. Straight into the gas. 13 gas. We're going for the fastest Dragoon range anyone's ever gotten. Standard SCV scout timing, doesn't indicate anything weird. Validate, no bunker. Second gateway. Shoot. Alright. Okay, so here is the... Hit the Marine. Interesting. Shit. Come on. That was fucking bullshit. I deserved that. That was too many probes. There's going to be a bunker over here now. Yep. Oh. Shit, that was very sloppy. Can't believe I let that happen. That was all my units. Lost like 6 dragoons just now. And I killed a vulture. Oh, shit, drops. I knew it was drops, that's why I had some dragoons in some weird places. Come on. Zealot, get out the fucking way. Let the thing kill the damn tank. I should have won that. If I didn't lose all those dragoons, I would have been fine. Like, I was even thinking drop. If you saw how I put dragoons up at like 12 o'clock and then had one at 12 o'clock, one at the ramp at 12 o'clock, I was looking for the dropship with those, but the positioning wasn't what I wanted. And I missed the drop, and then what I did with those 5 dragoons there was just fucking tragic. I also didn't move dragoons back into my main for the drop when it came, even though I knew that the only way there could have been a vulture on the map behind my units was if a dropship existed. Sloppy. I was ahead after the bust on his natural too. Very sloppy. First loss of the night. But I think in terms of F to S, we're where we want to be. Let's see where we're at. I forget how to look at my profile. Hold on. 2337, so that is S rank. And we were like 2350, but 2337 is S rank. And yeah, I was in a good position. It's very sad, isn't it? I deliberately tried to do an F to S like a month ago, and then I never actually finished it. So I'm counting this as my F to S part 2 because I started this stream at like mid A, which is where I was at the end of the F to S. So I figure, fuck it, this can be my F to S because I'm reasonably happy with how I've been playing. Mr. Worst, would you like to do any coaching tonight? Jumper, we are at 2350. No, just watch my video and you can get S rank. Not hard. What's the F to S video? Do the things. Oh, did any of you guys see Gypsy versus Bonif yesterday? Something I want to mention in one of those games. Okay, I'm going to talk about it anyway. So Gypsy's playing Bonif on Paradiso. They're close map, or close spawn. But Gypsy's gone into, he went like Factory, CC, Armory, Academy, second Factory, like third CC. So it's a very eco-heavy build. It's a very it's an upgrade build. He goes for Starport. He's going for his 2-1. But then he scans Bonif and he sees that Bonif is going 2 Gateway, 3 base, no Reaver, Corsair and a Carrier. And he looks at Bonif's 2 Gateways and he says, okay, you know what, it's go time. And that is exactly what he needed to do. He does like the most poorly optimized timing ever because the timing, Gypsy's build was very well optimized, but it was very well optimized to get 3 base 3-2. That's the timing he was going for. He was getting his side facility for the +2 attack, he was getting his second armory, he was getting his bases down. But because he was being greedy, Bonif went for an even greedier build, at which point Gypsy just goes across the map with 6 tanks and kills him. And it's not like there's a 6 tank timing that Gypsy suddenly discovered. It's that he scanned it and he correctly read that his plan didn't need to stay his plan. He could do something different. Just because his plan was an upgrade 3 base style didn't mean that he had to keep doing that. He could just build, or he could just take his 6 tanks and go. And it was beautiful. It just killed Bonif immediately. Because Bonif had an observer inside Gypsy's base. Bonif read that Gypsy was going greedy, and Bonif just went greedier. It was absolutely clinical. And it's the kind of very reactive play that a lot of Terrans would never do, because he had his plan, he had his timing, he knew that he was going for a 3 base 2-1. And he didn't really have the factory count to be pushing. But it didn't matter that he didn't have the factory count to be pushing, because the opponent didn't have the gateway count to be holding a push. I mean, you do need to be good at PvP on ladder. There are a lot of Protoss players out there. I don't know that there's the most important matchup, but you do need to be able to play PvP. 114 gate, not the best, but it's by the ramp, so it's not awful. We're going to scout the middle of the map because we want to rule out. So we're going to scout the top right because we want to rule out him being there. That's the best base site for him to get. If he's cross map, that just really sucks for us. It's this guy is. If he's cross map, we're going to struggle to get anything done, but that's okay. He's like 400 MMR higher than me. We are hitting all our timing so far, though. We're not unhappy with how this is going. Turn rate 8 is kind of disgusting. We're clicking on the minerals because we want to make sure that if he was at that base site, we definitely know about it. So it's just a habit I'm trying to get into. Okay, he probably is top left, unfortunately. If I believe he's cross map, I could justify going for like a quick nexus here, but I just don't know that build well enough to risk it because it's not what I normally do. Okay. We're either looking at a cross map or a proxy gate. I don't know which one. Oh, this is good. This is he's got the worst base site in terms of the mining. He's last scouting me. He's close spawn. This is every single advantage I could wish for. If I can't get anything done with this, I can't get anything done ever. That's a good pull by him. Nice. Bossing a pro pull. Nice. Bought another pro pull. His gas mining is fucked up. I got a zealot. I'm going to kill a probe. That was actually very good for me. Like his gas mine, he lost so much gas there. He's not going to have a quick robo and dragoon range. It just is not possible for him to get those. Yeah, that went very well. What to do here, though? So, if he goes for a... I'm going to take a few more risks, even though I feel like I'm ahead. Because what I need right now is a Viva to block A all in. But unfortunately, I'm so fucking bad with them that I don't want to make one. So instead I'm going to just do some gateways. The Nexus. Yeah, I'm putting him on like a 2-gate committed Reaver all in. That's my read right now. I might have too many probes. Okay, yeah, it is observer. I just saw the observer in my base. Okay, so we're pretty happy with this position. He is going to have Reaver, obviously, but we can work with that. Oh, my Dragoon's out of position a little bit there. Only now taking a second gas. That's good for me. The late second gas is good for me, because means that I will always have a gas lead over him. The problem is Reavers, unfortunately. I'm just so bad against them. I really need to get my Storm, too. Yeah, so he's got Reavers, that's fine. I'll just go into Storm. Dragoons, I told you to go over here. What are you doing? Come on. We're really going to lose that? Okay. Okay. Actually, I can main out these to my to my new base. Nice. I have too many probes. That's my +1, it's kind of late. Oh well. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Oh. Not entirely sure what went wrong there. I felt like I had enough stuff for that. Maybe I just have too many probes. Didn't have any Archons. Archons are pretty good, you should build them. I'm going to stop building probes. I have way too many probes this game. Oh, there's all my army. I had an entire control group that I just didn't bring. Well, suddenly everything makes sense again. He's got +2. There we go, 2500 Protoss. Fucking nailed him. 2550. We got like the most optimal opening we could have got though. Sarando, I told you this was going to be a good stream tonight. After like 3 games, I knew it was going to be good. Because I was hitting the timings. I was getting the macro. I don't know how to copy that string. Yeah, I'm not unhappy with tonight, I'll put it that way. Can somebody with a Korean keyboard type that to me? I want to look at what that was. Oh yeah, he was 13-0. Shit. That guy was 13-0. But so he did a cross-map scout looking to see if I had anything in the middle because he was expecting Foxy 99. Then he scouted top left, then he scouted bottom right. So he did like the worst possible scout timing, and we got a close position where I went Bon F2 gate, and he got the spawn with the really bad mining too, and it was everything that could have gone wrong for him did go wrong. And then my follow-up, where I said, okay, it is like very, very likely he goes Robo here because he has to go Robo here, so I'm just going to blind Nexus. Super greedy, but the read was good. And that's the thing, is that if the read is good, then it's safe to do it. Turn rate 24 high. That's an odd latency. Okay, Chinese, that's why. Wonder what he's doing on our server. Just did a quick peek out there to see if he had Voxy gates. I'm not boosting very well this game, unfortunately. There we go. I got a boost at last. Yeah, I tried boosting the wrong probe. I had a probe on my hotkey, but it wasn't the one that was mining that crystal. We're going to send out our scout. If we see a scout probe coming in, we're going to be afraid of mana pylons, and we're going to need a zealot. If we do not see a scout probe coming in, we are not going to be afraid of mana pylons. We will not need a zealot, and we'll go straight into Goon. Going straight into Goon gets us an extra probe. Yeah, that scout probe's late. Not too worried about that. And getting an extra probe's kind of nice. That's an anti-mana pylon anyway. But yeah, we're a probe up just because of the fact that we skipped the zealot. One of our probes isn't mining because of what I just did. I don't know which one though. Second gateway, interesting. That one's the one not mining.
Well, this calls for a celebration.
Thank you for the Prime sub, I appreciate it.
I will.
So we haven't seen the scout probe come back yet. That's kind of interesting. The scout probe is still out there. The question is where. So I'm going to cut probes, because he's gone for a second gateway. If I don't cut probes, I'm going to be in trouble against this DT timing. Because he's got the extra zealot from early game. He's got the quicker second gate. There's only so much you can hold with travel time. Eventually you do actually need some units. Okay, he could be going for a DT, but if he is, my DT's faster than his. There's the probe. Okay, I'm going to take a look at his... Oh, no, never mind. I was going to say I'm going to take a look at his Goon Cat and see if it's DT, but it's not. He's not paying... Oh, he is paying attention, okay. Appreciate the Prime sub, buddy. I don't really play StarCraft for... Or I don't really stream for the revenue. My revenue is negligible, but I give it away to good causes every time. So I'll just do that once I get enough to cash out.